everybody, it's Gypsy, and today is Saturday, December 7th, 2024, and I'm on my way to the flea market. I'm running very late because I needed to sleep in this morning. Now's the time I'm usually opening my booth, so I'm going to be, half an hour late. Actually an hour, because I get there at 8:30. I'll get there at 9:30 now. But it's okay, I can do that once in a while. I was up late last night. So anyways, I was thinking about this. Twice in the past week, I've had a couple, I don't want to say incidences because it makes it sound like it's some kind of huge thing. But it's not. Two things happened where it had to do with, I guess, who I am as a person, spiritually, whatever. Because my spiritual path, I don't like labels. I don't believe in labels. In fact, I told someone recently, I don't really adhere to a spiritual label, whether it's a religion or a spiritual path, whatever. Because then, and I feel this way with politics too, but politics is less important to me. Then it keeps you in a box, and it's like you feel like you have to stay within the parameters of that label. I don't like that, because what happens is then you're not expanding, you're not growing, you're not learning, etc. So I have always tried to stay away from that. However, I have had people tell me that I am a witch, and when I say witch, people, I mean a real witch, not what the Christians conjured up centuries ago, so that they can overtake the world and convert pagans, okay? Because that's what that was really about. A witch is a wise woman or man. Typically women, I think, or at least that's the way people look at it. I know of a few men who are witches or they're Wiccan, so I think that's wonderful. But a lot of people, they think of them as women. So wise women or wise men. Now, I don't even like to take on that label, only not because I hate it. I actually think it's a beautiful word. You have a lot of people. Now, I would be considered a solitary witch because I don't belong to a coven, which is typical of my personality. Because, I like the freedom to learn other things, to, keep an open mind. When you're in a coven, to me, I don't mean to insult anybody, but it almost seems like you're in a church with rules. And I have had a lot of sisters and brothers, mostly sisters who are witches, who, because I don't do this, that, or the other thing, then I'm wrong, and I couldn't possibly be a witch. Whether I'm a witch or not, I really don't care. But that being said, I would be considered a green witch or a kitchen witch. Now, green witches, we don't get into the religious stuff. We don't get into the gods, goddesses. For me, I know for a fact there's a creator. And I sometimes call it creator God or source God. I don't get into all the gods and goddesses. And I'm not saying it's wrong. It's right for some people. It's good for some people. And if it is, great. And I think it's actually beautiful. The gods and goddesses, it's a beautiful thing. I really believe that. I've just never been the type of person to get into, like structure. It's hard to explain. I love freedom. I'm really into freedom. But anyways, I would be considered a green witch or a kitchen witch. I like to work with, like the energies and healing properties of plants, essential oils, stuff like that. And, you guys know I love nature. I walk in the woods behind our place and stuff. And also my favorite room in the house is the kitchen. I love to cook and everything. And cooking, I know a lot of people, you don't want to hear this, cooking is magic. It is performing magic. So anyways, what happened first was, okay, my YouTube channel, I think it has changed 3 times since I started it, including, I'm on my 3rd name for my channel. So my channel was very, very much based on spirituality, and I talked about that all the time. When I got out on the road, I still talked about that, but then I started adding in my travels and stuff. You know, my channel's always based on where my life is, what I'm doing, I guess. You know, and then when I bought my property in New Mexico, and I tried to turn that into a homestead in the middle of the high desert on the Llano. You know, it was difficult, but my channel was about that. And now, you know, it's about, well, homesteading mostly, and my arts and stuff like that. My life, actually. So I had a viewer who I have not heard from in a long time. I used to hear from him all the time. I heard from him the other day. It was really nice. He's a really great guy. He is Wiccan. And he was one of the men I was thinking of when I said there are men who are witches, Wiccan, what have you. Anyways, he says, you know, I haven't been to your channel in a long time. What's going on? What happened? Aren't you seeing and hearing spirits anymore, etc.? And I laugh because that's nonstop. Seeing and hearing spirits, it's like all the time with me. You know, and I think part of the reason, you know, I did tell him about all my life changes, and why I changed my channel is nothing to do with I am no longer into spirituality, spiritualism, being a green witch. I don't think I could give up being a green witch if my life depended on it. I just love my herbs. Anyways, my kitchen. I always got a big pot on the stove, conjuring up something, and guess what it contains? Love. L-O-V-E. Anyways, so I explained to him about, well, over the last 10.5 years, God, have I had a lot of changes. Some good, some bad. I have 3 changes that, well, I consider bad. Okay, I'm labeling them bad. The first, when I was 49, which was 10.5 years ago, I'm now 60, my son died. My older son died. That was a huge change for me. And I think the event that is, I don't know if it's out, you know, close, but the last event was my mother's death last December. In between that, I had one other thing that started that I don't want to get into now. I have been waiting for years for this to end so I can explain it to you guys. I do not wish to explain it until it's over, because I don't think it's something I should talk about during it, because I can't be impartial about it when it's over, and it is a spiritual matter. Anyway, so I have those 3 things that really have changed my life. And in fact, oh, wait a minute, there's 4. I forgot my accident when I fell. That's what got me back to Ohio. Okay, I shattered my entire shin, my tibia, and I had emergency surgery. You know, I walk with a cane now, etc. But anyways, I ended up having to come back to Northeast Ohio. So that changed everything. So that's one of the reasons I changed my YouTube channel. And I kind of felt like people were sick and tired of hearing me talk about spirituality and seeing ghosts, spirits, and hearing them and stuff. So I did stop talking about that. But that's still who I am. I mean, it happens. I can't change that about myself. It's just who I am. Excuse me, my throat is getting raspy. So anyways, my channel now, as you all know, is mostly about homesteading. And, which to me, that so much is connected with being a green witch or a kitchen witch. You see my videos, I'm out in the garden, or I'm out in the woods harvesting herbs and stuff. And I talk to you guys about what they are, what they do, etc. So that event with this man asked me what happened, why my channel is so different. And I'm sure he was disappointed because, you know, it's an interest of his. I just felt the need to give it a break. I don't know what's going to happen after this event that's going on with me ends. Whether I'll go back to talking about it or not. And as you guys know, I do talk about it sometime. I'm talking about it now. When the anniversary of my mother's death comes around, I have a little story I'm going to tell you guys that is about seeing spirits. Or hearing them in this case. Boy, my throat is really sore today. Anyways, it's not sore, it's like so dry that I have trouble talking. So, that kind of puts in my line of sight the consideration of, am I being my true self? Am I being true to myself? Because I don't have a lot of confidence in me being a witch, which was my point before. Now I usually just say I'm a spiritualist, or I don't really have a label, and I don't. I don't do the rituals. I guess it reminds me of like when I was Catholic too, growing up. I don't like that kind of thing. It's just not for me. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's not for me. So I'm afraid to almost label myself a witch because of what other witches would think. So I just don't really talk about it anymore. Wow. I'm going to have to take a sip of water here, guys. Oh, that feels better. My son and daughter-in-law got me this huge Yeti so I could carry my water around in there. Love it. And it's purple, of course. Anyways, so that kind of, this being, I think, was meant to find me this week and question me. I think, you know, it could be taken as, is this who you really are? But I think it's more be confident in who you are. So this was, I think, the beginning of the week. So, last night, my son and daughter-in-law are over. Now, when I was in my 20s and 30s, I got migraines a lot. Well, this is happening to my daughter-in-law. And I'm surprised my son asked me this, because he usually makes fun of my, you know, like woo-woo stuff. But my daughter-in-law was miserable. And so my son's telling her to go lay down. And he goes, Mom, what essential oils are good for headaches? And, you know, he started to list some, and man, I was like, wow, baby. I mean, he hit it on the head. My concoction that I whip up for that has several essential oils in it, but he lists about 3 or 4, and he knows nothing about it, but man, he picked the right ones. So he tells my daughter-in-law, let Mom mix something up for you. You know she has all those essential oils. She knows, you know, so that made me feel so good that he would ask, first of all, because that was like another confidence booster, you know. So like Scott asking me at the beginning of the week, what happened? Are you still, you know, yes, I am still. I just changed my channel. I'm still here. It's still me. But my son, who has always made fun of me about this stuff, and he is becoming, every once in a while, I get this hint that he might be becoming a little bit more open-minded. But yeah, that made me feel good. You know, that boosted my confidence. So I mixed up this migraine pain reliever thing that I like, that I make, and my daughter-in-law put that on. And, you know, she rested. We had dinner. And then my son made her a little sundae. It was so cute. And you could tell her eyes were clearing up, because when you have a migraine, your eyes get really weird looking. And in no time, she was feeling better. So, I'm going to keep her stocked up with that. I couldn't find my roller bottle that I usually put it in. So I ordered more. And I told her, I said, I'm going to make you a couple more. I said, whenever you run out, you let me know. I said, in fact, I will have, because I have to buy the bottles in bulk. So, well, I guess I might as well whip some of this up and sell it in my booth, because I have all these bottles too. But that was like, I think the universe trying to tell me, be more confident in who you are. Now, in the spirit realm, we don't do labels in the spirit realm. I wish we didn't do them here. But I am who I am, regardless of what label people think I fall under, if that makes sense. And I really don't care about the label that I am. All I know is, yes, I can see and hear spirits. I love being in the woods. I love harvesting wild plants, especially any kind of herb. I love growing herbs. I love growing food. I love mixing up healing potions and stuff like that. And I love cooking. Because when you're cooking, that is what you're doing. You are using energy. You're working with energy and putting things from the earth together. And what you're doing is, especially if you're doing it for your family, somebody you love, you're putting in the energy of love. And you can put whatever energy you want in there. Choose wisely. Don't be an asshole. That's all I'm saying. Because yes, you can do that. I don't. So I love working with the energy of plants. And I love cooking. So I guess, yeah, I'm a green/kitchen witch. I have trouble getting out of the garden and the kitchen. You can't find me. Check one of those two places. Or the woods. But I think these two incidents, which only happened a couple days apart, was verification that don't worry what your label is. Don't worry who people think you are. And then it was very important because, all right, my daughter-in-law having the headache. It happens, but it happened when she was over last night. I have a lot of essential oils, and I had everything I needed for this. And for my son to ask me to do it was really meant a lot to me. But then for this gentleman to contact me at the beginning of the week, the two just aligned. Okay, and I really received that as message is be confident in who you are. Plus, my uncle also recently kind of verified for me too. He and his beautiful fiance came to see me at my booth one weekend. And I know he had said this to me a couple other times. You take after your great-grandmother with healing. This is my Welsh great-grandmother. So I always thought he was mixing me up with my cousin. Because my cousin is a very, very good, very strong energy healer. So I assumed he was talking about her. No, that's your other niece. He goes, no. He goes, I'm talking about what you do with the natural healing using herbs, plants, etc. He goes, my grandmother did that. You're doing exactly what she used to. And, so that it's kind of like being in my blood on my Celtic side is verification for me too. So I guess I'm getting verification. Don't worry about it. You are who you are. And I think we should all feel that way. No matter what you do, no matter who you are, be good with it, be confident. So my throat is acting up again. I am going to leave you with that. Blessed be and make it a joyful.